What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Jake. This is Nerd Level Rising, and it's the end of January, man. So now we got to start getting ready for February, and we got a big old TBR to talk about. So let's jump in and talk about what I'm going to be reading in February. So, number one, continuing Cytonic. This is book 3 in the Skyward series by Brandon Sanderson. Everyone keeps telling me this is the worst book in the series, which is fine, right? It's okay. I'm prepared for that. One of them's got to be the worst, right? So we'll see how I like it. I've really enjoyed the first couple books. I think I like I don't know. I don't know which one I've liked better between book 1 and 2 so far. Probably maybe about the same. But I'm interested in this. I'm excited to see where this goes. We'll continue chipping away at this. I would love to finish this month. I don't know. I move really slow on these books because it's like a chapter or so before I fall asleep at night. And, it's still almost a 400-page book. It's about 400 pages. So, when you're getting through 5-10 pages a day, it takes a while, So we'll see how that continues to go. But that will be my bedtime read still here throughout February. Cardio stuff, right? If you haven't seen much of the channel before, I have like these little compartments where I like to read. I have something before bed. I have an ebook that I will do while I do some cardio, and then I do like a main kind of read that I like to do first thing in the morning before the day gets away from me and I'm too busy and stressed out with work stuff and wind up not reading. So my cardio read will be Return to Eden. I want to finish that up. That's the biggest priority. That has been such an amazing story going through that trilogy. And Philip Chase is not only an amazing booktuber and an amazing person, but also an amazing writer. So can't wait to see how he lands the plane, so to speak, in this trilogy and just wrap everything up and see where everything falls. And then from there, I'll be fully caught up on everything and ready to jump into the sequel, While Darkness Gathers, that is due to be out here kind of, early mid 2025, right? So hopefully within the next few months, we'll get some good news on that. And I know I believe Phillips mentioned like a Q2 goal for the release of that. So I'm excited. That'll be a day one read for me for sure, because I've absolutely loved the Eden trilogy. So that's number one priority, is to finish that up. After that, man, I've gone back and forth on this a lot, but I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and jump into, again, assuming I can get through Return to Eden, on the sooner side here, at the very start of February. I think I'm going to jump into Elegy of a Fragmented Vineyard. It's a mouthful, kind of a hard title for me to say, by Caden Love. This is one that the author reached out to me and actually sent me a copy of the book on ebook, and which is super nice. Thank you, Caden. That's awesome. If you happen to see this, thank you so much for sending that. It's super nice. And part of that is, I think, in the interest of his sequel is coming out here early in February, and to try to just get some more conversation around the series and stuff. And I've heard some really good things about book 1. A lot of people really like it. It sounds like it's got a really intricate and unique magic system around organ transplants, which I've never heard of anything like that before. That's pretty cool. And I know he was influenced pretty strongly by Sanderson, and I'm a big Sanderson fan. So I think we'll give that one a shot. We'll see how that goes. And, I want to be able to talk about the series a little bit as he prepares for the release of the sequel. And then we'll see, maybe, if I really, really love it and I get through it pretty quick, maybe I'll jump into the sequel soon, and, we'll see. But I think that's the plan. I think that's the plan for now, would be to jump into that after I finish the Return to Eden. So again, this Elegy of a Fragmented Vineyard. There, I said it a bit more smoothly that time. Okay, and then my main reads, we can see a bunch here. So I will continue The Book That Wouldn't Burn by Mark Lawrence. This is one that, as we get through February, I'm a bit audacious with my goals here. We'll see. I'm maybe being a little bit optimistic, but hopefully not too optimistic, that I'll be able to finish this. Again, it's my first Mark Lawrence, and I've heard that his stories are usually pretty dark. This seems to have a very, poignant theme around the nature of story and storytelling and things like that I'm super, super interested in. And, at the point when you guys are watching this, I will have hopefully just barely started this, and we'll get in there. And I'm pre-recording this, if you can't tell, that, by that point, I should be a little bit into this. So finishing this up will be priority number 1. And then we get into some other stuff. And one that feels like it's been a super long time coming, but it really hasn't been that long. It's just that I love this series so dearly that being away from it for a couple of months has felt like an eternity. And that's Sun Eater. Okay, this is the last thing that I have to read in the Sun Eater universe. This is Book 6, Disquiet Gods by Christopher Rocchio. I cannot describe to you guys how excited I am to read Disquiet Gods. This is one of my favorite series of all time. This Rocchio has become one of my favorite writers of all time. This just everything about this story just speaks to me so deeply, and I love it so much. The characters are unbelievable. The plot there's so many twists and turns, and there's so many just really thought-provoking things, and it's really made me stop and think a lot more than a lot of other series have. I'm hesitant to say too much more. I don't want to spoil any of the things in there, but this is just awesome. And by all accounts, this book is right up there at the top. And some people, this is their favorite of the whole series. I read what is the title of that short story? It's the final short story in the third collection, The Tales of the Sun Eater. I can't remember what it was called, but it basically took place like right before this book takes place. So we saw a glimpse into the setting and some of the characters that are going to be in here. Very intrigued, and I think based on a lot of my other interests outside of books, I think I'm going to really enjoy the setting a lot. You guys know I'm a big anime fan. I think Asian culture, Japanese culture, in particular, is super interesting, and I don't know, it just feels, it gives me the warm and fuzzies, so I'm just really excited to get into this. So that'll be a huge priority. I don't know if I'll do this. I don't know what order I'm going to read these in. The order of these might change a little bit because the plan is to read this alongside Chance Dillon, because this is also the only thing in the Sun Eater universe that he hasn't read. And then we are planning on doing sort of a dual live stream with the two of us and Mr. Christopher Rocchio himself, where we will go full spoilers on everything Sun Eater and just get in there and talk about anything, right? That's the goal. That's the plan, right? We've planted the seed. Chance was fortunate enough to go to MarsCon recently, where Christopher was the guest of honor, and I believe he was in Christopher's ear a little bit about, hey, like, we might want to do this, and it seems like he, didn't completely shut it down because he hates us or anything like that. So we shall see, but of course he is a very busy man at the moment writing book 7, and I know he's about to have another child. I don't know if it's a daughter or not, but another kid. Made a deal with the Chantry, that one did, to get another member of the family. But anyway, we got that. I also need to get back to Malazan. It has been far too long since I read a Malazan book, and this is the next one, The God Is Not Willing by Steven Erikson. This is the first book in the sequel, was originally a trilogy, now will be a tetralogy of called the Witness series, I guess. It was the Witness trilogy, but now it's whatever. The God Is Not Willing is book 1. This is a much shorter read than a lot of Erikson's other books. At least it seems that way on the outside. We'll see how it goes once I actually get into it. Very excited for this. I love everything about how Malazan ended. Not just the Crippled God, but also a sale from Esselmont, and which is the real ending to the main timeline series, right? But very excited to get into this, and I'm particularly excited because I'm going to the ICFA conference in mid-March, where rumor has it Mr. Steven Erikson often attends. So if he is there, you better believe I might bring every Malazan book that I own, I don't know, and see if I can get them signed. That would be amazing, right? That'd be cool. I don't even know if I'm allowed to do that, but if I am, I will. But also, I just want to make sure that I have this read, so that I can get in there, and if I get to meet him, maybe I can talk to him about it. I'll get to show him my Malazan tattoo, right? It'd be super cool. So, fingers crossed, right? That'd be a cool life experience. But Chance is joining me there, right? We'll be there together. That'll be fun. So, I got to get back to Malazan. We'll get into this. And I don't know a ton about this. I hear that the series as a whole is going to focus a bit more on, I won't say the name of the character because I don't want to spoil who survives and who doesn't through the other books. But it's a character who is often a fan favorite and was, of course, one of my favorites. And if you are a fan of the series and have been reading, if you're reasonably way through the 10-book series from Erikson, the fact that the sequel series is called Witness probably gives you a clue as to who it is, right? But very excited for that. Then if I have time, I don't know if I'm going to have more time in the month or not. February is a little shorter month, etc. But if I have time, I want to pick up The Tainted Cup by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is one, everybody on BookTube was talking about this, right? You know, last year it seemed like everyone was just obsessed with this story, and I really want to get to it for that reason. I feel a little left out, but also the sequel drops in April, so I want to try to be ready for that, and this is just a nice change of pace, you know what I mean? I got this kind of, feels like a little bit deeper philosophical stuff with The Book That Wouldn't Burn. I got the crazy epic sci-fi, I got the epic fantasy, kind of darker, grittier, that kind of stuff. This seems like it's sort of murder mystery, Sherlock Holmes, some Lovecraftian horror, all kinds of stuff kind of wrapped together is what I've heard. So sounds cool. I love this like naked hardcover with this artwork. How cool is that, right? So I'm really excited for that as well. Nice little change of pace, change of tone. I think I'll be able to rip through that one pretty quick. It looks like a pretty fast read, which is always nice after a Sun Eater and Malazan book, probably back to back. So that could be good. But that's what I got for February. Should be a very exciting and very fun reading month as always. So if you like the video, hit that thumbs up. It helps the video do better, helps me grow the community here and just meet more cool people, which is what I'm here for. Speaking of which, if you like the video, you're not subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It's always nice to keep growing and see what we can do here. And most importantly, as I always say, talk to me in the comments. That's always the most fun part of all of this. What are you reading in February? What are you excited for? Have you read any of these? Don't spoil anything, but tell me what you thought. You know, what are your plans? You know, all sorts of stuff. If you have recommendations, I'm always open to that. My list continues to grow. It seems like every month I add a bunch more stuff to my list. It just keeps getting longer and longer. But hey, worst problems to have, and that's part of the fun anyway, right? So as always, thanks so much for watching. I will see you very soon in the next video.